What is going on, guys? Welcome to GregglesTV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you subscribe so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? Let's get into the news. First story of the day is about Huawei and ZTE. It looks like there's a bill going through the US government that would ban the sale of Huawei and ZTE phones to people in the government. And the reason being is the US government is concerned that Huawei and ZTE have connections with the Chinese government. And if US government officials are using those phones, that information on those phones would cycle through and filter through to the Chinese government, creating a security breach. Kind of crazy. And I'm kind of wondering if that's really the reason that AT&T pulled out of their deal with Huawei. They had a deal that they would sell the Mate 10 Pro on AT&T so you could get it, you know, with payments and things like that. And they pulled out of it at the last second. And it looks like that's probably the reason what's going on with that is that, you know, AT&T doesn't want to have any affiliation with a Chinese phone manufacturer where there could be possible, security breaches. So it's just pretty crazy. It's a very interesting story. I'll link it in the description down below, but it looks like Huawei ZTE phones will probably not be on any major carriers from here on out. And also it looks like probably definitely not be able to be bought US government officials. And our last story of the day is actually a couple days old, but I didn't see it in between going to CES and coming back home into San Diego. This just slipped through my radar, and this is pretty interesting as well. LG is going to stop releasing yearly updates for their flagship phones. That means this could be the last year that we see the LG G7 and the LG V40 come out on a regular basis, meaning that these phones might come out every 3 years at this point, new flagship phones. And then what they'll end up doing is release variations of those flagship phones throughout, every year. So meaning they might release an LG G7 type phone, but then next year they're not going to release the LG G8. It would be like the LG G7, whatever they call it. So that's what it's looking like, unfortunately, for LG, jumping out of the yearly phone upgrade that everybody else does right now. And it's because they've lost 11 straight quarters losing money because of their mobile division, because there's so much competition. It's really people either buy Apple, people either buy Samsung. And then a lot of you guys might wonder, why does Greg cover a lot of Samsung? Samsung's huge. Samsung's very interesting. So is Apple. They're, it's like it's two mammoth companies going against each other, and that's what most people buy. Most people buy Android. When they buy Android, they buy Samsung. When they buy Apple, they can only buy Apple phones. So those are the only two manufacturers most people buy. Pixel phones and LG phones, they make up a small minority of headsets comparatively to those two companies. So we'll see how it happens with LG, if they end up sticking to their guns, and if it ends up working out for them, because they've got even more competition. They have to go against Huawei, they have to go against OnePlus, they have to go against ZTE, they have to go against Motorola. There's so many companies to go against that they're really fighting their way up, and it's definitely a tough battle. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. I throw it back to you guys. What do you think about the yearly upgrades? Do you get a new phone every single year, or maybe even twice, 3, 4, 5 times a year? Let me know in the comments down below. I generally get multiple phones per year, but it's usually just to, so I have something to talk about on my channel. Samsung comes out with 2 flagships a year. You get the Pixel phone I'm really interested in. LG phones I'm, fairly interested in. There's a bunch of phones that are in OnePlus, and there's a bunch of phones to be interested in that you could possibly get. So let me know if you do, once a year, or once every 2 years, or multiple times in a year. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you down the road. Peace.